Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Artist Within podcast. I am your host, Adela Hittel, and this podcast is produced by Project Human. Think a new way to think. Think about mental health, think about health, think about being a human being in our existence. I am so excited for this next episode. It's come to my attention. Well, it's not come to my attention. It's been at my attention that we are, as human beings, it's hard for us to navigate our time, and time is something I constantly talk about, right? I talk about it in how to manage it, how valuable it is, how your $24, your 24 hours is just, that's all you have, right? That's all you have. Everything else is an added bonus. You can't get more than $24. You can get a little less. It depends on how you make it, but you can't get more than $24. So what do you do with that? How do you manage it? How do you take care of that block? How do you make it be so fulfilling, so inspiring for you, and be successful for you and thriving for you? What does it mean that for you? What does success mean to you? Are you afraid of the word time and managing it? And are you afraid of managing yourself? These are the questions you're going to have to ask yourself before you can really dive into narrowing down and studying yourself and being committed to yourself. Like, you're going to have to make a commitment contract to yourself. I've talked about this before. I'll share mine with you guys on the next episode, and I'll talk about the commitment contract and how important it is to write those things down and make a binding contract with yourself, right? And we'll go into depth of that, but that's really, really important. And I made a commitment contract to myself that I would do all of these things, and I am. It's taken some time. It's taken different ways that I would have wanted and in different shapes and forms, but it is being done. And that's the beauty of it. As long as you keep moving forward, and as long as you break past your last barrier that you think you have, you will build more resilience, and you'll continue to build that little warrior that I keep talking about inside you, and really connecting yourself with what you were missing as a child. So one of the things that I know I was missing as a child is structure and time management. So in this episode, I want to talk to you about that. I have a couple of things that I'm going to share with you, some things that we are going to be launching in this year of 2025, a few new courses and a few new educational ways for you to get involved and be a part of learning and growing, taking an opportunity to find yourself and find the path and find your way of functioning. We're always going to talk about functionality. How you function is important to know, meaning how you process things, how you see things, how you view things, how you take information in, how you output information, how you store it, where you store it, what information can you get rid of, and what parts of yourself can you rebuild, what is salvageable, what is something that you can let go of. So there's so many depths of a conversation when you start working on yourself that you get to dive into. And once you have control over your time and you have the ability to extract what you want out of the time that you have, you get to learn about yourself. You get to grow from that. That is information that you didn't have before because you weren't studying yourself. Nobody's studying you. Nobody cares. I'm very appreciative that anybody's even listening to this podcast. So thank you. Subscribe, like, and all that. But again, nobody cares what you do in your time, where you are at. So I want to talk to you about that. I want to show you what we are doing and how we're navigating that, and how we're going to be teaching humans to navigate that as well over the next couple of years. So come along the journey, as you always will be, as I always share it. This is the beginning of it. Like I said, I want to talk to you about time management today and about our new model called the CARE model, because I figured out if we, again, define the narrative, redefine it, reshape it for what we need to based on what the words actually mean, not something that we feel we can make up on or how it makes us feel completely, but how we can process. And for me, I can process it through the word of care. I'm an empathetic person. I am a servant. I am someone who likes to care for the things that she's doing and the beings that she's with and whatever it is that it is. I care for the creation of existence. I care for the creation of myself, and I care for the creation of this world one way or another, however that means. I care for that. And I have to think about what can I care about, what can I control? So the 2 C's, care and control. And I can only control myself, and then that means that I can only care for the things around me. I can only put in time and love and compassion for the things around me. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And that's what I'm going to teach you about, because how do you care for the things around you that matter to you? How do you put value and invest in yourself and in your time without anybody seeing it, without any results, without any reward, without anything that you need to succeed on the outside world, the validation, right? How do you do and strive and create the life that you want without the validation of anyone else but yourself and your existence and what you're capable of? So let's get into that. I gotta take a sip of tea because my voice is going in and out. A lot of talking has been done today, which is good. It's great. So before we get into that, let's go do what I do best. First, let's take a look at our website, because I need you guys to do me a favor. I need you to go to our website. It's right here. It's phinc-ing.org, finking.org. And you can go ahead and join our Fink community. Once you're in there and you join our community, you hit the subscribe button right here. We're going to start sharing a lot of information to you guys over these next couple of months, and towards the end of the year into next year. There's many things that we are big and working on, like, for one, our big mental health summit. That information is going to be on our website. We're going to be releasing that very soon. We're working very hard on the back end to put that together and create something that's very epic, not only for ourselves, but for the city, for our community, and for the voices that need to be heard in our mental health community, really. Like, it's just in the place where we don't have voices that are validated in a way that they need to be, right? Now, when we talk about validating you yourself for your time and what you do, that's different. But when we're talking about mental health and giving support and understanding where the being is and understanding where the human can go, that part is different. How we care for that is different. How we approach that is different. And we need to have those conversations, and we need to bridge the gaps where we can and actually make actions and take action and make things happen. So one of the things I want to do is I want to take action. I want to make things happen, and I need your help to do that. What I need you to do is, like I said, I need you to go join our community, join the Fink family, and you'll get information coming out soon. Promise. I've got a great team behind me now that is helping me on the back end of making things happen. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to them as well over the next couple of months, as we move forward and make things happen on our end, because this last month we've been onboarding people, having meetings as a team on an individual level, working through stuff, meeting with companies, meeting with networking opportunities and marketing opportunities for us to do what we want to do, and just creating this, not only just this buzz, but creating this buzz within our own organization and our own selves. And we're really excited for the goals we have set, and they're very high goals. But you know me, I'm a very high achiever, so let's go win it. So again, go sign up on there. Once you do that, you'll be in our website. You can check out some of the programs or some of our other projects that we've done, and some of the interviews that I've done for our organization over these last couple of years to promote it and to just let everybody know where we're at, where that we're here. And now we're letting you know what we're doing and where we're going, and giving you really an insight into who we are, because we're ready. We've defined our narrative. We've created a structure. We're building a team. We're making things happen. We have a very big goal. We have a very solid goal and a solid plan how we can bridge a gap in our own community, and something that we can create in other communities and help other communities do the same. So check us out. Check all that out. You can download some information from us in here too. So there is that. While you're in there, go invest in change. You can click on that button right there and help us grow. We are going to need all the support that we can. You can support us in many, many ways. One of the ways that you can support us, if you're able to, in a position to, we would love for you to support us through donations, because that helps us achieve our goals and bring a lot of our programs and projects to fruition. That helps us get to the next level of what we have as an organization, and even with this podcast and everything else that we're doing. So your donations really, really help us. And we will share with you what we're doing and where we're going with it as transparent as in the blah, blah, blah. I can't speak now. We will be as transparent with you with all the information that we have as we possibly can, because it's one of the goals that we have. It's in our guidebook and our handbook and our policies that one of our non-negotiable is trust, transparency, communication, honesty. And we really want to be able to do that with you. But we've had to grow, we've had to learn, we've had to overcome a lot of obstacles and make a lot of mistakes to do these things so that we can be here to do that. So please expect a lot of different information coming up here, as well as information about the Mental Health Summit in the next couple months. So we'd love for you to support us in there. So like I said, support us by donating, making a donation one time, monthly, or whatever you would like to. We'll take whatever you can offer. If you cannot do that, then sharing, becoming an advocate, becoming part of our Fink family, sharing our podcast, sharing this information is going to be imperative because it helps us grow. Subscribing to our YouTube channel, as I will always be pointing out right here, go subscribe. That helps us out. It ensures that we can get our message out more across, as well as share with you more information that's going to be coming up with our Mental Health Summit, with our documentary. Obviously, all of our podcast episodes are on here right now, and interviews and things like that. There's also old content that we have on there too. So I've been doing this for a little while, trying it out and creating this narrative of what I want to do. That doesn't it doesn't mean it was great in the back end, but you can take a look at it. You can see how far we've grown. You can see how far I've grown in the brand, in the narrative, in the idea, in what I want to do in its mission and the vision of Project Human, of this podcast, of just the idea of bridging gaps in our communities and within ourselves as human beings. So please, again, check us out. Go follow us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to our Artists Within podcast. Subscribe and follow us on our Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, all the places that you listen and you show your support. We would greatly appreciate it. Also hit that notify me button in all of your places so that you can know when we have new episodes like now. And I will be more, again, consistent with them as I was before, because I'm coming back. I needed a little bit of a timeout. I was burnt out because those things happen. So again, don't forget, go to our website, invest in our mission, invest in us. We really would appreciate your support, even if you're investing with your time and advocating with us and becoming our volunteer, becoming part of our Fink family member, whatever way you can support us and support the mission of really inspiring human beings and changing lives and bridging the gaps where we can and doing what we can with the resources we have. Really, we as human beings have the capacity to create change at any given moment if we unify, if we come together, if we look at ourselves as an actual potential amazing entity that can give and can produce and can create this gift that we are from the universe and from God. If we can see those skills within ourselves, every one of us has a potential to contribute something that can make something greater. And this is my small way of contributing through this organization, through this podcast, and through different ways. It's not big by any means, but it is a small way. And that small way is, as I always say, one step forward, one small step is a great victory. It is the greatest victory you could take, because if you complete the small step on a consistent basis, you win, because eventually you get there because you're walking and you continue to walk. So do that. Walk over to our website, hit that subscribe button, sign up on our Fink fam, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. There is that. Thanks for giving me that time and that spiel. I truly appreciate it. That was much much information. And, we got to go ahead and be shamelessly plugging ourselves in and sharing this information. And I'm ready now. Why am I ready now? Because I've worked really, really, really hard on what I've been saying, right? Over these last couple of years, I have talked about becoming a greater being. I have talked about this hope and this faith in humanity and in our ability to change, in our ability to navigate. And I have tried to do this on other test subject, as I would like to call it, and have us come in together and do this. However, that doesn't work because, you're not there to monitor 24/7. So then I thought about it. Who can I monitor 24/7? Who can I be accountable and responsible 24/7? Who can I boss around 24/7? Who can I literally create if I spend the time with 24/7? No one but myself. Not even my son, not even my husband, not my mother, not my father, no one but myself. Why? Because I am with myself at every single consistent moment. I'm with myself when I'm asleep. I'm with myself when I'm awake. I'm with myself. And if I can look at myself, and if I can study myself, and if I can be accountable to myself for my time, for my actions, for what it is that I do and put out there, then no one can tell me what it is that I do or what I'm good at. I know me. Thank you. You cannot shake the ground that I'm walking on. You cannot shake the structure, because within me, it is a solid concrete foundation that is, 20 feet deep in the ground. Okay. Its roots are strong. You cannot shake this. You cannot break this. And that confidence cannot be had until you actually study yourself. And I had to spend that time with myself. And you'll see that through the work that I have done. If you look back on our website, as you see, and we'll be releasing more work that's never been seen before, more content of the growth of the projects that we've done. And you will get to see this human being walking this life and walking through this life, not understanding where she's at and how she's navigating it, but willing to navigate it, willing to fight for it, willing to create something for it. And that is a tenacity and an ambition within her that I have, that's within me, that I can claim all of that, because it's so true. All I want to do is create. And she helped me see that this being that I didn't understand, this human within me, this identity and a part of me of a life that I didn't know, that I couldn't comprehend, that I tried to just absorb, that wasn't necessarily mine, but it is a part of me. I had to look at her from a different perspective. I had to look at it from an outside view, and how would I approach this situation if I was doing this to a complete stranger? And I had to treat myself as that. How would I navigate this if I was to do this with a human being completely different? I had to treat myself like a human being. Can you believe that? I had to treat myself like a human being. But by treating myself like a human being, I learned how to care for myself. I learned how to care for the things that I do. I learned how to prioritize the things that I care about, the things that I want to make sure that you feel within my work, within what I do. I want you to have this feeling of care, because I care. I care about myself, and I care about you, that you care about yourself, because yourself is so important. And I want you to see that, and I want you to feel that. So how do we do that? How do you navigate that on a daily basis? How do you manage that? How do you process that? Let's take a look. For those of you who are listening, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel as always, and then you can see what we're talking about, because you'll get to see the video. But let's take a look at this. I want to show you a little bit of this time management. This is part of a course that I'm creating. It's part of a 4-hour course that we're going to be releasing by the end of this year. And it's a monthly time management down to a daily routine structured path that we create and set up, and we look at your life and we look at how you work and what you do and where your time is, and really, really map it out. I mean, down to almost a minute, because I believe that every minute of your life is so important. Okay. So if we're here in this, this is what I have is something I've come up with in the structure of understanding what time management means to me. I was so afraid of the word time management because when I first started going through my process of becoming accountable and responsible for my time and for my existence and the actions that I took in this world, I was so afraid of time management. Like, it would give me anxiety because I felt like I had no time in this world at all. I felt like I had no time at all. I was in a constant state of panic, constant state of anxiety. And so because of that, and because of the level of my cortisol, the level of adrenaline that was just consuming my being, I was in a constant state of fight and flight. And so my time was just not important because there was just so many other distractions, and I just had to navigate all these little things. And so there was never time to clean my house. There was never time to take care of myself. There was never time to spend with my family, never time to create, never time to anything. But I always had time to be in a state of anxiety. I always had time to be in a state of panic. I always had time to be in a state of existence where I had no control over everything because I had no control over my time. Gaining control over my time has been the greatest gift I have been given and blessed with. And I'm so thankful that God has given me the grace to be patient with me to get here to do this, because knowing that this time management, knowing your time, okay, understanding how you function in a daily basis, not your monthly, not your weekly, but day to day, knowing how you function, getting to a routine is so important in how you create a healthy state of being. So I wanted to share with you one of my examples, okay, of how I broke down my routine for time, because it goes along with the care model that I'll show you in just a second as well. But this is a time block schedule that I have on the screen right now for those of you who are watching. On there, I have my category, or an activity, however you want to label it for yourself, but it's a category. I always have everything mapped out in a structural hierarchy so that I know where everything belongs. I know where there's a space and a place for everything, and I like everything mapped out and webbed out. And again, all of that is coming in the course. But for now, this may help you start navigating your life in one way or another, right? You might be able to find some use out of this. So you have to figure out what your time is for you first, for your care. I have a very strict routine of going to sleep, and I am asleep by 9 o'clock the latest. Like, if I am in bed or not in bed by 9 and asleep by 9 o'clock, and if it's later than that, I've just had to work and I've pushed myself, and that's fine and whatever. But I am primarily shut down, everything locked off on me by 7 p.m. if possible. And I am going to put myself in my care mode, finish everything else off, and I'm going to bed because I'm up early. I'm an early riser. I like early mornings. I like my peace in that morning. And I've had to learn that about myself. So number one thing is you have to figure out, are you early or are you late night? It's okay, whichever one you are, but you have to ask yourself, when are you the most functioning at? For me, early morning. I will just knock so much off in the morning, and I have the best energy and time on that. So that's when I'm going to take care of everything. And if I try to push it at night, it just becomes a nightmare. So you have to ask yourself, where are you at in the morning or evening? And I'm a morning person. And if you're an evening person, again, same thing apply. You just structure yourself over when you are the most energized, when you have the most cognitive dissonance, so that you can make the decisions that you need for your life, right? You need to know where you're at in your state of existence with that. For me, again, it's in the morning. So I'll get up in the morning at between 5 and 5:15, I'll get up, and I am becoming better at my workout. So this workout thing is part in there. And this is all what I do. Like, this is actually part of how I write things down and what I do to do things and map out, so that I understand what I'm doing on a daily basis, and I'm not so mad at myself when I cannot do everything, because again, I am one human being. That's it. So priorities, again, what are your priorities? What's the most important thing that you care about in your life? For me, I care about myself and my being, and I care about my child, and I care about my home. That is my priority. My work is fourth on this list, okay? So for me, self-care, that's in the morning. We take care of that. I've changed it a little bit, on some things. Sometimes it's between 8:30 and 9:30 if I want to give myself a little extra time to read or decompress or do some education, whatever that I may not have done in the morning with my part of that. And I have actions, like I have to put in there, wash my body and my face, brush my teeth and my hair. And that to me works together because it's like brush teeth, brush hair, and that's how my brain works. So I have to know wash, dry. It just, if they go under that category, then that's what I'll put to do because it goes along. Anyway, I'm sure those of you who understand. So that's what I do. And then I write in here, dress to impress, because I'm really working on putting myself together. I don't want to, also since COVID, I've lost my own part of myself at home in just comfy wear and loungewear, and that's not who I am necessarily. I enjoy it. I like being comfy, but I also really enjoy putting myself together and presenting an image that is sophisticated and impressive to myself, not necessarily to the world, but to myself. I really like to put myself together. And I enjoy that. But when I don't and I let myself go, it is, again, one of those moments where I don't give a care about myself. And I care for that. I care for this. And not in a vain way, although I like to be vain a little bit, pretty. But not for that. I want to feel good about what I see when I walk by a mirror. I want to feel good about my existence here because this physical body, as I've talked about, this temple is important. This is a house. This is your engine. This is your car. This is your thing that you care about. This is the toy that you wanted to have the most and care about and love, and you're just not giving it all the attention that you want because something more material is in there. This physical body is material. It is a type of material. So treat it with graciousness and kindness. Anyway, so that's what we do with that. Then I have my other part where it's childcare. It's very important to me to do my childcare from 6:30 to 8:30, and that means I got to feed him, make him breakfast, take care of that, drop him off, and then again 2:30 to 4 o'clock. Those are the times of picking him up and putting stuff off. Now activities I don't have written in there yet because some days we just switched the schedule for activities. So activities go to my husband now, and he takes on the activities in the evening, and I get more time to myself so that I can do some things. So now I would change activities, put in what he has to do so I keep track of it. But next to it, make a notation, hubby doing, taking care of the tasks. So I don't have to, but it's in there because it's important to know what they're doing. And then home, family, pet care, friend care. This all goes together for me under that care category because those are all in some way, shape, or form important and valuable. And for home care, what time do you have in there? Sometime I'll have from 8:30 to 10 a.m. That's a good hour and a half of your chunk of time that you can go in there and you can prepare, your breakfast or your lunch for things, or you can prepare for dinner. You can clean up the kitchen. You can do a little laundry. You can do a few things that you need to do in your home care and prepare for the family because that matters to you. You can also, in between that time, on the other part of the 6:30 to 8 p.m. for me, and I put 8 p.m. because sometimes, again, I'll have to add to 8 p.m. on the things that I do. That's why I said if I'm in bed by 9 p.m., that's my cutoff time period. But normally it's earlier than that because I get to take care of my tasks a lot earlier, as I will today too, which is great. But that's the benefit of knowing your time. You get more and more efficient at what you do in the tasks that you're doing, and then you're able to accomplish more as you get better at being you, as you get better at how you function, as you get better at yourself. It's just really crazy. As you get better at existing and functioning as yourself, it works out. So you'll kind of you'll do that in between those time blocks. And then what is the other part of it? I really do care about my work. I care about everything that I do. So from 10 to 2:30 p.m., from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., that's my work schedule. And Monday through Friday. And Saturdays I have different things that I do, and Sundays I have different things that I do, and I'll take on different projects or work on different works. For example, I'll work more on my fashion or more on my photography, or I'll work more on my hair and makeup stuff that I love to do. All of those things I really just enjoy creating. So and then the other parts of the week I'm working on this and communicating with my team and putting things together. all the while accomplishing stuff. So being very intentional about what I'm doing and then scheduling that out. And then you put in there again, under actions, your meetings are from this time to this time, what you're doing. And that's in there, you allocated the hours. So you've allocated, an hour in each to 2 hours to 3 hours in each category in your day, which means that you have now spent $2-3 in each of these categories, and you've made them worth it, your time, your investment. So if you have anything left over and you're able to give it to the outside world and you're able to share it with somebody else, like, that's freaking great. That's fantastic. That is just amazing. It's fantastic. But if you don't, that's okay. You really have a lot of work that you have to do within you and around you. And I'm going to show you another visual in a second of, this is just a very small, again, breakdown is just a block, a little column pattern of how I wrote things down. But I'm going to show you an example of what I have as a sample of my how to do, like what I write down on my daily things, so that you can kind of see how I keep myself accountable for this time in the day. Now, that doesn't mean that I literally will have time to write this down every single day, okay? So if I don't, I have a notebook right here. If you see it right there, this one. So define the narrative. We're going to have this coming out to you guys soon too. It's one of our samples and templates we're working with right now and figuring out all our kinks. But this is one of the samples that's going to be within that. And so you get to see how you get to create your day. You're not going to be able to write down every single day. Now, if you can and you're in position and you don't have ADHD like I do and can just be that diligent and all that, that's fantastic. Like, kudos to you. Teach me how. I'm really trying. However, I'd rather work action than just consistently write. I do like the writing down part constantly because I absolutely, advocate for it. It's so important for you to write down what you did, especially when you start out. Like, if you can write down 10 accomplishments of the day, and we go back to the action list, and I'll show you that in a second, 10 accomplishments, 10 tasks, 10 things out of your categories of care, you're winning. Are you kidding me? That's a lot of energy that you're putting out. Now, if you can do 15, awesome. If you can do 1, okay, great. You've done 1. Right now, be consistent with the 1. Be consistent with the 4. Be consistent with the 10. Then you get consistent with 20. I'm consistent with as many as I can handle because I'm pushing, but I am consistent. See, change the narrative. Every time you say something that you don't want, you have to correct yourself. I am working, and I am doing really good job of accounting for myself of what I'm doing. So if I can't do it every single day, I'll check in on the last day that I did. So for example, if I checked in on, what are we on today? I don't even know what dates today is. So if I checked in on January 20th of some day, and that was the last time I look back on my note, that was the last time I checked in, and now it's January 24th, then what I'm going to do is say, hey, last check-in was January 20th. Over the last 4 days, here's a few things that have happened. Or I have no idea what happened. I have no idea what happened these last 4 days. I was so out of it. I was so confused. No clue what I've done. Couldn't tell you. You write that down. That's how you become accountable, because you can see the time lapses that you have then. Then you can see where you're not being consciously aware of what you're doing and the actions you're taking. You can see where you're lacking the accountability and responsibility for yourself right there. It doesn't mean that's bad. It just means you can see where you're at. You can keep track of it. So for me, I write down, today's the day 2. I found this on one of the posted notes a long time ago, and I love that start of that. So I give credit to that. We're in there, and I really kind of sort of stole that little saying, today's the day. And it was just that they had the today is the day, and I wrote down today's the day 2, so it's different. So today's the day 2, and you write an empowering message to yourself every single day, or every single time I check in with myself in my notepad right over there, in my calendar journal accountability book. I am writing in there, today's the day 2, and I write, to take appropriate action towards my goals. Do the best you can, one foot in front of the other. Or I'll write, take action, make a change where required, and move forward. Or all right, give myself grace and recognize I am only human, allowed to be. I am allowed to be human. That means I'm allowed not to be able to function some days. I'm allowed not to be able to be perfect and allowed not to be at the highest of everything. But I'm also not allowed to stay in that forever. And I'm not allowed to be in self-pity forever. And I'm not allowed to throw tantrums and allowed to be a victim. And I'm not allowed those things because they're not part of my DNA. My little warrior within me won't let me. So I'm allowed to be human and I'm allowed to recognize when I have those moments and I need them, but I'm not allowed to stay in them. Same thing for you, accountability, responsibility for yourself. And then I have my gratitude and thank you. I every day make a prayer and a gratitude prayer, and it's literally the same. I'm literally going to give it to you what I write down every day. A few words will change if I add a thank you or if I'm praying for someone or if I'm adding a little more personalized thing. But this is my daily gratitude prayer, and then I also pray at the end of the night too. But this is my daily that I will write down every time I'm writing. I write a gratitude prayer, and I write in, thank you, God. Thank you for my breath, for my body, my mind, and my soul, my existence. Thank you for my family, my husband, my son, and my dogs, and my home. Thank you for every human who has blessed me by serving you. Thank you for another opportunity to act in your service and do better. Amen. And then some days are a little longer, some days are a little shorter. So this is an example. But the first portion of thank you for my home. Thank you for every human you've blessed me with. Thank you for another opportunity to act in your service and do better. I literally write that every single day. Every single day that I am writing. And again, some days I may check in for 2-3 days because I'm just doing, or I have a moment where I'm not just capable of existing and functioning. But when I am, that is what I go back to. And that is what I do. And then on the back end of it, there's, your important dates and what's important to you that you need to kind of do in this week or day. So I write that down in there, and it just kind of gives me an upcoming day or 2 or 3 view of my life instead of a whole, because I have a whole 365 days calendar on my wall right now that's 12 months and stickers on it and due dates and all kinds of stuff. And that can become overwhelming, and that can become like, oh shit, I can't make it. But then when I'm doing it, I see that, and then I transpose just the 1 or 2 days over into this moment, and I write it down. It keeps me accountable. I see it, and then it doesn't give me as much panic, or it's easier to achieve because you break down your goals. Your big things, your big categories are broken down into smaller until you're able to manage them. And this is the idea of this, right? So, and all of these get done. And on important dates, this is what's happening on this date. For example, in this January 13, 2023, childcare, an appointment, whatever kind of appointment I might have had, work care, meetings, 3, whatever they might be, self-care, spa day, family care, movie night, on the other days. So, and then I have notes. I love stickers. So part of this is you'll see stickers in there, and that's why you see the stickers on here. If you have not tried stickering your life, you are missing out, okay? You are missing out. I love stickers because they are a great reminder for yourself. Not only are they fun and bright and joyful, excuse me, but if you find the right ones that you're really like, I'm a really high mentality, like high alpha, kick butt type of female. And I want you to be like, get your ass in the gear. Nothing's impossible. You can win. You don't give up. That's what I am. That's what I do. So part of this, I like reminding myself that I'm doing great some days, and seeing a sticker there to remind myself on a day that I may feel like I'm not doing good. That's what I do in there. I'll take a couple of days or not a couple of days, but I'll take like 10 minutes and just pull out 10, 15 stickers and then put 3 on each page of my, again, template and my stuff and just what I want. And then when I'm going in through them, and on the days that I'm just not feeling it, I'll have a sticker reminder of something like, your good things are coming your way, or nothing worthwhile is done easy, or takes. So just these little reminders for your life, right? And so I love these stickers. So you'll see these little stickers on there. And so if you're not in sticker mode, I think you should get into sticker mode. I love stickers. Stickers are great. And that's one of those things. So I'll have it. And for example, the sticker that we have on this one is, the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. And again, how fitting about your life. The day you start working on yourself is not the day you become what you want to be. I started working on myself and really committed to myself on my 30th birthday, okay? That was 8 years ago almost. I am about to be 38 in July. That was almost 8 years ago where I really committed and I made a contract with myself, and I've had to plant these roots of this tree, and the roots of this tree were so damaged in so many ways and rotted and some of them needed to be cut, some of them needed to be cleaned. The environment that it was planted in needed to be cleaned, it needed to be removed and put into a whole different space. Like the care that it took for this tree, this again home, this template, this body to be cared for, it's now going on a decade almost. So you have to give yourself time, and those are the little reminders that the day you plant something, the day you do something is not the day the change happens, but it is the day that change has begun, because you've made a decision and a commitment to yourself. It has begun. Now you must water it. Now you must care for it and feed it and value it and talk good to it and give it love and care and protect it from the environment that it has to endure just for it to survive. That's your body. And just as it is a plant, right, that you have to take care of outside. That's why gardening is great. If you're not gardening, that's one way to help yourself a lot. Gardening, go take care of a plant. And when you can start growing plants and make them happy, you're doing great in life. I promise. They're just a great way to do that. So that's what I do in there. And another part of it says random things down there or whatever you may need, errands or something. So on one of them, I had an emergency call that required additional time, not accounted for. And so I make that no. That way I'm not hard on myself for not completing a task that I might have had as a plan for the day, because I had something that was a bigger priority that came in to take over, and I had to replace that. So I had to finish that and have that conversation and take care of that. Then on the next day, I'll make sure that I put that as a bigger priority to take care of the task prior to that, because it's important. Now, I'm not going to beat myself up so much for it. I promise you, before I've done this type of podcast conversations for the last 4 or 5 years of just learning and navigating and not understanding anything I was doing at the time. But you'll find me talking about how I have no idea how to sit still. I still don't, believe me, I still don't know how to sit still. But I can sit still now. For an hour now, I can sit still and have a conversation with you, and I'm not losing my mind. I'm not fidgeting. I'm able to have a full, thought out, cohesive conversation with you and understand what I'm doing, whereas before I wouldn't have been able to at all. So really being able to account for yourself, account for your time, account for what you're doing, what you're saying, your thoughts, what you're grateful for. Give yourself grace. You do deserve it. And keep working towards it every single day. And this is just, like I said, an example of what I've done over these last couple of years and what I literally still do to this day. And when I don't do that, that is when I spiral. That is when I become out of sync with myself, with the world, because I'm not checking in with myself. And now on my pages, on my to-do page, which is not on here right now, but we have an action to-do list that we select and do. On mine now is check in with self. Check in with self. That's 2 tasks under self-care or work care. I'll either do it while I'm in my self-care mode, where I write down and check in and take a moment, or while I'm in work care, when I come to my station here and I start getting to work. I check in with myself. Hey, how was yesterday? Where was I at? Am I grateful for what I need to be grateful? Do I really need to process something? Do I really need to vent on something? No, I'm good. I just need to say my grace and my gratefulness and my gratitude. Good. Awesome. Let's move on. You really become so much more with yourself and solve your own problems as you navigate your own time. Again, as someone who did not believe in this 8 years ago, who could not do this in any shape or form, I am an absolute, I love controlled, fun, chaos, controlled structure to the T timing. And if things don't work out, that's okay. I have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I really do. And I think you should too, because it does help. It helps a lot. So again, for those of you who are watching on our YouTube channel, thank you again. Subscribe and you'll get to see more of these. Subscribe, hit that little subscribe button in there. Thank you to our subscribers right now. I'm going to plug that in right now and say thank you for the following and those comments that you've been leaving. I really appreciate it. And let me know if this is any help to you at all. And I'll be again doing a big course on this to really teach you how to navigate this. But this is just an example of how you can start navigating your life in this space and place, and where you can today. Just, you don't need this template right now, but you can screenshot it. Like, you can start on your own, just on a blank piece of paper. One of the things that I want to teach you is that you have to create your own existence. Like, how everybody else in my template and my samples and my examples and my course and all of that, how it works, there may be about 5, 6, 7, 8 things or one thing in there that you can take away, that you can implement, that you can navigate your life with and create for yourself. That's literally all I want to do, because it isn't about me doing it for you or creating and solving your problem. It's about you learning how to do it for yourself. And I don't live with you. I'm not judging you 24/7. I'm not even your judge or executioner in any shape or form, but I'm not there to hold you accountable. I'm not there to hold you responsible. No one is but you. And if you have faith in a higher power, or if you believe in God, or if you believe in the universe or anything like that, but it's you and God. And for me, it's me and God. And I really want to be able to, at the end of my day, when I take my shower and I say my grace and I say my prayer and I say thank you for today, thank you for this body that's allowed me to work and create this and create the team that I have. Thank you for being able to build this. Thank you for the ability to create the podcast today and have a conversation, educate people. I start listing the accomplishments that I've done, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity to do them. And then I also say, I'll do better at this part. I'll do better at this part. I could have done a little better here. Let's navigate that better today. Thank you for your grace for that. And as I'm taking care of my temple and my body, and I'm saying this grace and I'm having this moment, I really get to see what I've done. I get to go to bed with this sense of accomplishment and a sense of pride versus a sense of anxiety and a sense of panic that I didn't do anything or that I wasn't doing anything. Knowing that it takes one step at a time, one moment at a time for you to accomplish these things. And here's why. So the next thing I'm about to show you is something I've worked on for a couple years now, because it came to my own attention that the way I function is knowing exactly what is in a category, and in a category of self-care, what exactly does self-care entail? Like, every action, and then I would time that action, and then I'd execute the action. And so I'll know that it takes 24.2 minutes for me to be able to take care of what I need to do, or 45 minutes for me to do it the way I want to do, or extra care, whatever that may mean. And each action takes 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I have been able to create this understanding because I need that. I worked that way. It is literally what saved my life, is it seeing that, because now I know how long something takes me. And then I make it really, really fun with me, because I like challenging myself. Like I said, in your mind, you're not competing with anyone but yourself. You're not doing anything to compete with anyone but yourself. In your mind, you're only competing with yourself. And in your mind, there's no one in there that can challenge you the way you can challenge yourself. So every time I have a category that I have to work in or I have to do, I go, how can I do this in the least amount of time, but the most effectively and efficiently? How can I beat myself before? How can I beat the time? How can I beat what I've done before, but still with quality, still with efficacy, still with real understanding of what I'm doing, and not just, like give depth in what I'm doing too. So it's always a challenge. It's always a great competition with myself, and I love it. Even when I do this podcast, I'm like, how can I do better? How can I give you more information? How can I just give you what I know is the truth of fighting for yourself and advocating for yourself? How can I show you the effort is worth it, and that you're worth the effort? So it's always the conversation in my head, and when I do this. So one of the ways that I've spent the last 2 years, 3 years navigating is creating a care model. And this is a care model that I've created that I'll be making available to you guys very, very soon. So here it is. And this care model, as you guys saw in our time chart, right, in our little time template, there's the child care, there's the self-care, there's the family, friend, pet care, other care. In this one, there's bill care, there's car care, there is, I have bedroom care upstairs, or bathroom care, something like that behind my little picture here. that you can't see right now, but that's okay. And, mental health care, what does that mean for you in that way? Like the care of your being. What does that mean? How do you break this down to understand what that means to you? This looks overwhelming because it is overwhelming. You got to think about this. You're existing. This is existing, and it's overwhelming. Existing is overwhelming. And if you don't know how to manage existing and how to manage the actions and the tasks that are required, not expected, but required for you to survive and exist, then you're going to be panicked and you're going to live a very, very scary and anxious life and fearful life constantly. I know that because I did that. So I want to help you. I want to really, really help you with that. So take a look at this just again as a quick screenshot, and we're going to go through this just a little bit because you'll get to kind of get the idea of what I mean about breaking it down. And again, we'll be teaching this by the end of the year. We'll be doing a full course on this and showing you what this means. But you can start today. You can literally start today. It is the care model. It is the care guide. This is something our organization has been working on, and I've been working on in producing and co-creating over the last 2 years, and really understanding what actions are being done. You have different tasks that are required in your life that need to be, again, changed into, but these are the most common things that everybody has in their home, in their self, in their space, that you get to look at and go, whoa, okay, I can make a change in here, and here's what I need to do. Here is where my care aspect of my life I need to focus on and fix. So this is like a daily care, as I'd mentioned in the other one, and this is why I said it will go along with childcare, drop off and pick up, school trips, activities, personal activities, health appointments. These are all the things that happen in your child's life. These are the knowns. So what are the knowns in your care model? What do you know? And when you can answer that question, what do you know about your actions? What do you know about your life? What do you know? You'll be able to work and build around that. And so, morning, what does self-care look like? Morning routine, evening routine. What does that look like for you? What do you know? And if you don't know what that looks like for you, then start figuring it out. Start working on it. Start seeing what makes you feel good, what brings you joy, energy, what brings you structure, start working on it. It takes time, but start working on it. One of those things means like morning routine. Self-care means like really, again, the care of the temple and the body. I've mentioned that the way my brain functions is I need to have like cadence, and I need to have things that make it easy and sound sense to me. So one of the things I do is, again, I have 4 to 5 categories a day that I get to do. I used to only do 1 to 2, and I'd be able to do, if I can just do 1 category, 2 categories with 2 tasks in each of them, I win for the day. Now I do about 5 categories, and I do about 6, 7 tasks in each. Why? Because I was able to grow and build that skill up, right? I was able to build that foundation and make it better and make it more efficient because I understood what I was doing. And what does that mean? Wash and dry. Wash my face, dry my face. Wash my body, dry my body. Wash my hair, dry my hair. I need that because that's the category, like self-care subcategory, wash and dry. And then you do that. Then there's brush my teeth, brush my hair. I need to know that because that has a little rhythm to it. And I get to get up in the morning and start a little, in my head, I sing everything, okay? In my head, there's a musical and a Broadway every single second, okay? Everything is just a la, 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 la. So I get up and I'm like, let's get up. Let's brush our hair, brush our teeth. Let's wash our face, wash our hair, like whatever it is that I'm doing, right? And moisturize my face, my body. Sunscreen. I have to remember always sunscreen. That's why the youthfulness is there. And, stretch my body or work out, whatever that means for you. These are the things that are daily, repetitive, you need to account for. And how long does that take you? You need to know that. And then your evening routine. Style yourself, dress for the day or evening, whatever it is that means for you to do. Give yourself gratitude or grace. And really means give yourself gratitude and grace for that. As I mentioned, you are in the morning saying thank you for another opportunity. Thank you for your home. Thank you for your structure. Thank you for the ability to even make the decision to do something else. You have the breath. You can do that. As long as you have a breath, you're capable. And then at the end of the night, you give thanks for what you were able to accomplish. You give thanks to your body. You give thanks to your mind. You give thanks to your organs. I literally will say, thank you, liver. Thank you, spleen. Thank you, heart. Thank you, intestines. Thank you. I will say that because I need to give my body that positive energy. I need my cells to have the understanding that I care for them and I love them. And I understand that some might think that like, oh, well, that's going far and beyond on that, but it's not. You have to give care to yourself on a daily basis so that you can re-energize and have the ability to fuel your body and your cells. This body is made of magic, okay? What it can do, how it can heal, I am a testament to that. If you give it the proper grace and the proper tools it needs, it really is. So again, and then family care. These are your daily things that you need to do, or weekly things. Order online or errands, your home supplies that you need to do. Clean up stuff for the home, or do whatever it is that you're doing. So this is just a little idea, okay, of what it is that you do on a daily basis. So you have a category, you have a subcategory, and then you have these actions that go in these. And you can do one category, two categories, and then 3, 4 subcategories. And so that's the big goal. That's the small little goals that you need to accomplish to finish the big goal. And then you move on to the next one. And so just redefining what these words, goals, achievement, success mean to you, and figuring out how they work within your narrative of how you perceive and receive information and how you process it. This is how it is for me. It's overwhelming for others, but for others it makes sense. So it doesn't matter. But I do know that these are the things that daily require so much energy, require action for you to function. And when you can master these on just yourself, for yourself in your daily thing, you win. You win like crazy. Oh, here's the home care model. Here are the things in a home that we as women and some men, or most men, depends on where you're at too. I'm not excluding men, but most women have to do and plan on a daily basis. And I'm speaking slower because it's intense when you look at this. So not only do you have to take care of these things, right? That's just the other categories of self-care, pet care, child care. Some of you do all your bill care and whatever it is that you do. Now you have to come in and make a home care. And the home is a whole job in itself. And when you look at this, you're like, oh my gosh, what is this? It's literally the things and the actions that require, or the spaces in your home that require your attention for you to be able to have a functioning life and a clean life and an organized life. And I'm learning how to have a livable, organized life because I have OCD and really bad, and I don't mean OCD as a complete spectrum of I can't function in some ways, but I do have it in aspects where I've had to really retrain myself to not make it matter that much. When I tell you that if I were to see a speck on something or on a floor or on a dirt, my whole being would go into shutdown mode, and I would have to hyper clean, scrub for days and make sure that there is not literally on a small spot. And then I'd work on another, and nothing else would matter. The idea of needing to be clean, once my brain would see a piece of dirt or see something that was not something that could just be, it was insane. I still have urges. I literally cried the other day because I was telling my husband that I needed to do these things and I was just losing my mind. And he's like, you just want to scrub every piece of our floor right now, don't you? And every cabinet, every corner, everything. I'm like, I want to. I'm dying inside right now. And we had to work through that because I would have neglected everything in my life. And I would have let that impulse take over instead of enjoying and understanding that I'm literally living with human beings and with pets, and I am living in a combined community of my home, and our home gets affected and impacted not only by me but everybody else, and I cannot control everything as much as I want to. So when you look at this, you can see how many things that you have to do. There's just so many tasks, right? On here, if you have so much in the kitchen, you have to wash things. I have a way of being able to have my brain, the way my brain works. You guys might need to change some of this and remap it for yourself, but this is a visual map of how I see things and how I categorize things just so that I can function. And again, when I'm in the kitchen, when I'm washing, wiping, and I'm throwing things away, I'm washing counters, I'm washing dishes, I'm wiping down the appliances, I'm wiping down the counters, whatever that means. I'm putting away the dishes, I'm putting away, appliances that don't need to be. Those are all actions I can almost kind of sort of take simultaneously or take them one after the other. So I really think about how they work together and cohesively before I take the action. How do they flow together? Are they going to be something that's going to take more time or less time, or can I work them in a fluid motion as a dance? I really try to understand what that means. For, let's say, the bathrooms, wiping, cleaning, sweeping, and it has sinks, toilets, tubs, showers, mirrors, rugs, floors, trash, laundry. And so I start at the sinks, toilets, tubs, showers, mirror, rugs, floor, trash, laundry. And to me, it has a cadence. I get it done, but I wipe, clean, sweep, and out. So I wipe things down. I clean things that need to be on there. I sweep everything around, and I take out whatever needs to be taken out. So I have these key words that help me trigger these little actions that I need to take in this category of what I need to do. So if the category is home care, and in that home care today, I am working on a bathroom, the laundry room, and the living room. Those are 3 big things, and there's so many little actions in there that need to be done, so many subtasks. Seeing this allows me to give myself grace that I am only human and I'm only capable of doing so many things at once or with the time that I have. My time is limited. I only have $24. And out of those $24, 8 of them are for my sleep. 4 of them are for self-care. So in some shape or form, or 2 of them are, really depends on where you're at. So 10 hours are already gone. Now I have, 14 hours to do something and create something that is not only for my home care, for me to do this whole model, this whole thing, I don't have enough time in a day. Those 14 hours, with no food, nothing. And I still have to do the second part of it, which is childcare. I have to be with family. I have to take care of the pet. I have to work. That's the work care model is not even in here, right? So there's so many things that you have to care for in a day that it becomes overwhelming. But seeing this gives you the ability to go ahead and start prioritizing some things and giving yourself grace and saying, okay, if I can do 1, 2, 3 categories, just 1, 2, 3 big tasks, 1, 2, 3 categories of my life, focus on them. And that could be self-care, that could be home care, and that could be child care, because those are the only things I can focus on today. Okay, great. And if I can't do, home care today because I have work care, okay, well, what is the day that I can focus on home care? And so you start mapping out, puzzling things, right, in your time and day. And you start seeing what you can do and how you can maybe you don't do all of your home care in one day, and maybe you just take home care and you do a dining room today, and tomorrow you do kitchen, and tomorrow you do that. I've had to do that and realize that it's okay that I don't start things over and over and over and over again at the same spot because I did it yesterday and I have to start all over again. I did it yesterday and I have to start all over again. No, I did it yesterday. It's fine. I'll move on to the next task. It's fine. Because by the end of the week, I'll come back to it and I'll have to do it again. That's how I started my laundry pile now. At the end of the week, I will have it done completely, but almost every other day, if not every single day, I try to do a load and make sure that with that, I'm just maintaining that. But if I can't maintain it, Sunday's laundry day, Sunday's the pile of the day that we have to get done. It takes me 4 hours to do. I know what I need to do. Let's get it knocked out. So you know how to prioritize your time. You know how to make it work for yourself. And that's the idea of understanding and caring for yourself, caring for your being. So the care model is about the idea of, again, understanding what goes on in your life. What actions are taken on a daily basis? What decisions are made? What choices are you represented with that you have to make decisions on and prioritize on? So that way you can navigate your life. If you don't do that, if you don't start giving that effort and then that time, that investment of yourself into it, you're not going to reach your goals. You're not going to change the reality, and you're not going to understand why you are in the positions that you are in, and you're going to blame everyone else. You really are. But at the end of the day, this is your responsibility, your accountability, your consequence, good or bad. It is yours, no one else's. And once you can understand that and take full control over that, and it's you and God and you and what you do, because no one else can see it, no one else can watch it, no one else is responsible for it. You can ask for help. You can ask for people to guide you and be there for you and be responsible for you and ask for some of their time to do that, but they're not responsible. They're not responsible for that because they have to be responsible for themselves. So when you have that within you, you have the ability, as I do now, to come out and give more to humans, right? So I can give you more now of myself and what I've learned than I could in the past. I can give you more information and give you more tips and give you more tricks on how you can navigate your life than I could have in the past. And you know why? Because I literally have sat down with myself on a daily basis, as often as possible on a daily basis, and held myself accountable. Because I don't want at the end of my life, I don't want at any given moment in my life for me to be the reason that I am the downfall, for me to be the reason why things didn't work out. I can understand when things don't work out, when I've given my all and I've done all of it, it just wasn't meant for me. And then I know it wasn't meant for me. I can't be mad at anybody. It's no one's fault, no one's responsibility. I did the best I could. I was in it. I did all of this. What can I do next? But when I don't give it my all, then I lose. So I really wanted to take you through that, give you that understanding, give you that love, give you that compassion. I hope you took something away from that. I hope you took some grace away from that. And I want you to also give me your feedback as well. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you've gotten any value out of that. And again, the course will be coming out soon. I want to teach you how to be a functioning human being for yourself, how to really understand the importance and value of yourself, and see that the investment of your time, of your dollars in the day of 24 hours is so important to yourself because you are worth the effort. You're worth the effort. All right. Until next time, thank you for listening. Thank you for following. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share all of this with you. And again, subscribe, like, do all the good stuff that we need you to do. Share with us and become an advocate with me, with Project Human, with our Artists Within podcast. Become an advocate and share your journey and your story, and share passion, share power, share positive and inspiring ways and different perspectives. Share triumph, share goodness. You will win, I promise.